In today's deep dive, we're unraveling a complex web of political lies that reveals the shadow side of international aid. Billions are funneled into Ukraine amidst crisis, billions more in Israel, and the question that I have is why? Don't politicians know we have enough to worry about in our lives here at the United States? Rising cost of living, no one can afford their bills, eggs are expensive. Why the heck are we sending so much money overseas? And I need to know why. I want to know the motivations. This is why I love crypto and blockchain, because it promises transparency. But today we will see the motivations of why things happen, and I'll show you video clips that's proof that this is all real. But first, you and I have to uncover why all of this is happening and how this all works. Got my trusty whiteboard here because I'm a lizard brain and this is how I best think. What if I said that Zelensky, let's just say Z, is fighting a war versus Russia, right? This is all true. But did you know that there are backdoor dealings, political deals, and business maneuvers that are currently doing deals with Zelensky and Ukraine so that when the war is all over, they're going to be investing and building and getting these contracts for all of their investments in Ukraine. So there are currently big business owners, people who own a lot of these corporate treasuries, that are giving money to Zelensky so that Zelensky can give them deals in Ukraine. I'm going to make that as deals, and they are giving money over there.
A reported secret meeting that you had recently, you and a bunch of other people with Zelensky of Ukraine. Within the last few weeks, it was said to have happened. What happened in that room?
So I don't know that it was so secret, but basically I think Zelensky wanted to meet people from the business community, and there were about 10 of us there. It was organized by JP Morgan, and it was, this is a pretty important person. I think when we look back in time in our history, he's played a very important role in the last couple of years, and it was an opportunity to sort of meet him firsthand. And I think his goal here, I think, was to meet people who could be potential investors in the country, people who could bring business to the country, and I think what he really had to say was, don't wait till after the war. You can really help us by bringing business to our country now.
Also looking for people to help rebuild after the war.
Yeah, I think, look, I'm very bullish on Ukraine post-war, right? I think most Americans wouldn't be able to identify Ukraine on the map circa 2 years ago. And today, I think people know, how many people live there. They know a lot about the population. I think they feel a moral obligation to help. And I think there'll be a very powerful big business case for the rebuilding of the country.
Are you going to commit personally that you'll give money towards the rebuild, either through you personally or the foundation?
So I've invested about $24 million in Ukraine philanthropically during the war.
You already have.
Already have.
They're promising money, promising aid, not just to fight the war, but also money to make him rich and to build up infrastructure and to support for aid, a whole bunch of stuff. But business owners are sending money to Zelensky so that they can fight this war against Russia, and Russia's over here. Now, these business owners are now tied to the victory of Zelensky. They want him to win, because if he loses, Russia takes all of their money, all that money that's invested in Zelensky and Ukraine, all that money, all those potential profits that they would have in the future, all of it belongs to Russia now. They are literally buying when blood is running in the streets. This is from Clear Value Tax. Shout out to him. A lot of this research is from PBD as well. And so what's happening is these business owners are tied to Zelensky. Now, if Russia starts to overpower Zelensky, these business owners need to figure out how he needs to win. So they're going to go to someone who they own that's in the White House, okay, on Capitol Hill. These are all their politicians, all the people that they paid, all the people that they gave money to, and they're going to lobby for their special interest in sending money and aid over to Zelensky so that they win.
All week, there has been headlines surrounding whether or not Joe Biden accepted a bribe from a foreign national in exchange for government policy decisions when he worked under the Obama administration. Senator Chuck Grassley and Congressman James Comer were told by a whistleblower that the FBI have in their possession a document that proved Joe Biden was involved in a criminal scheme. There wasn't proper confirmation over which foreign country this could be in relation to. However, Burisma Holdings is the same company that Hunter Biden sat on the board of from 2014 to 2019. He was reportedly paid $1 million a year and, according to invoices from his laptop, was paid over $83,000 a month to sit on the board. However, from May 2017, after Joe Biden was no longer the vice president, Hunter Biden's monthly invoices from Burisma were reduced to $41,000.
What do they need? They need dollars. They need guns. They need all kinds of ammunition. They need fighter pilots and tanks and all that kind of stuff, because these political, politicians have been bought by these business owners. Now, these politicians also make money because they are also profiting off of war. So if they start to win if they have contracts like war contracts and these defense contracts with these companies, private companies that go into Ukraine, they're making money on both ends. One, from the people that own them, and two, from the contracts that they send directly to Zelensky. Now, these guys are sending taxpayer money. How are they doing that? Okay, they're going to take some of our taxes, but what they really do, they don't really raise the taxes all too much. What they really do is they just make that money printer go brrrr, and they just print money. This is inflation, okay? They just print money. This is why the fiat currency is devaluing. This is why we get into Bitcoin and crypto, because it's a limited supply and no one can mess with it, and it's fully transparent. And so what ends up happening is Zelensky starts to make out with a lot of money. Then he could use that power to fight Russia. These guys, their interests are protected. These guys make money. And what Vivek Ramaswamy said is that trillions are being printed, billions are being profited off by the politician, while millions die. And guess who is the loser? You and me. This is you and me. This is what's happening. This is what I'm uncovering. This is the motivation for what is all taking place. So if it's not Ukraine, it's Israel. Now let me just ask you a question for all of this, right? If there was to be a war that China all of a sudden invades the Philippines, do you think America is going to come rushing to the Philippines' aid? No. There's tons of wars that's happening right now in Africa. Why aren't we over there? Well, because there's no business owners that have invested their time, money, energy into Africa. They've invested in Ukraine and they did business dealings with Ukraine. This is why we're backing up Israel so hard, is because we have people here, business owners, these rich, wealthy companies, these rich elite supporting and propping up these politicians, protecting their investment in Israel. That's what's happening. Because we have this self-interest, right? Let's just go back to selfish. People are just self-interested. They just have to look after themselves, which is fine. At least it's predictable. Okay? People don't look out for each other anymore. I can't even say I blame them. I have to look out for myself. I try my best to look out for other people around me, try to serve them as best as I can. But in the end of the day, I know that all these other people are out here, everyone is very self-interested. It's just human nature. So we have to take that into consideration when we're trying to find motivation. Am I just making all this up? Do you not agree with this? Let me know in the comment section down below. But this is ultimately why we are in cryptocurrency. This is why we are into blockchain and Bitcoin, is because it provides a way that no one can mess with your money. No politician can make the money printer rip. No Fed, no Jerome Powell can be, owned. No president can just turn this thing on. Just whoever owns them for the moment. It's the last bastion of freedom. It's the last hope of just owning something that you can only totally control. This is the eventuality, right? Everyone's going to move to Bitcoin because everyone's tired of these politicians, these rich men north of Richmond, right? Just deciding who makes money and who doesn't. and they're deciding that they're making money because they have these self-interested plans that they're dealing with these business owners and people over in Russia, and they're making money, and it's keeping us down. I'm not one to complain. I'm just one to just be enlightened, one to be focused. I'm looking for a way out, and I think that way is Bitcoin. Let me know in the comment section below if this is something you agree with. Thanks.